All right, welcome back inside TD Garden here on Media Day. Happy to have Charlie McAvoy, a.k.a., as you call him, Nightly Chucky Bright Lights. Yep. And the lights don't get any brighter than the Stanley Cup Final, maybe here on set.
Or literally right here.
The lights are pretty bright. But, Charlie, you were just telling us off air, 10-day layoff. You think Thursday night scrimmage in front of 18,000 fans, the best thing that could have happened to this team at this point. Why?
Yeah, I think personally, for me at least, it was my favorite thing that we did. I think it was beneficial just to compete. We did a full ice 5-on-5. We worked on some special teams, little 6-on-5. Having the fans there was really incredible to see the support, but also really to emulate that kind of game feel. So I think it was really good. Personally, I think it was my favorite thing.
So we see it at times, obviously with you, but we see some players making their NHL debut in the playoffs, and it very rarely ever happens. And so this is your third playoffs now?
Yeah,
third playoffs now. So how much of an advantage was that you got that taste right away in the National Hockey League?
Well, I mean, obviously it was an incredible opportunity, something that I've been very thankful for, as my, as I've progressed here over these last, couple of years. I mean, making the playoffs is never a guarantee. It's a privilege to be here and to play, and that's something that I've learned. But having that experience, I think, has just been really beneficial for me, and just trying to grow and soak it up.
Playing college hockey here and then having the chance to play here at the Garden, play the Bean Pot, whatever else, World Juniors, do you feel like any of that helped accelerate your development?
I think a lot. I'm playing in those those big games and kind of being relied on and leaned on, but also wanting to make a difference. I think that was something that kind of helped grow me a little bit. I think it's also just matured me a lot. Nothing is going to be bigger than this, and obviously it's my first time, but I think I can still rely on those experiences and know that it's going to be stressful and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but to know that, hey, I've been in these games at least, so just try and have fun.
The only thing bigger than this would be your D partner, Big Z. And we always talk, it's kind of a two-way street. You do as much for him as he does for you. What is his tutelage meant to you in your young career, and especially getting to this point right now, Stanley Cup Final, and have you leaned on him in any way outside of the ice just to say, hey, what's it like to go through this?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to put into words kind of what he's meant for me from a player standpoint. I mean, just so many things. I mean, when he's on the ice, he works so hard, and you understand really what it takes to play and to have the impact that he has. And then off the ice, it was cool. He spoke about it the other day, kind of how he treats everyone in the room. And I think he put it into the perfect words. He treats everybody, I mean, it might be childish, but it really is true. He treats everyone, the way you want to be treated. He involves everybody. It doesnn't matter whether you have one game or 1,500. You're a part of this team and your family, and he's going to include you. And I think that's been the most beneficial thing. As long as I have him, on my side, I know that he's always going to be there defensively, and he'll have my back.
He seems superhuman. I remember, this is dating it. I came in as a rookie, drafted by the Islanders, and Big Z was there at the time. And I remember just seeing how big he was. So you're going to get enough hockey questions. So let's keep this on Big Z here. Right? How many from your fellow D-Corps would it take? Because Z's background, his dad's background is wrestling, right?
Olympic wrestling.
Yeah. Olympic wrestling. Yeah. How many of you guys you think it would take to pin down Big Z? Come on, like say you.
I mean, how many do we have?
Let's say you, Grizz, and Krug. Can all three of you pin down Z or no?
I don't think so.
So you would
think
probably
it would take. So we have 7D, I think, or 8D right now. I think it would take all of us.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. Wow, that's so awesome. Seriously, that's crazy.
He's a beast.
Yeah, I don't want to go with that guy.
Isn't it weird just seeing how he does these chin-ups and those things that aren't supposed to be good for a guy his size? He can still bang them out, right?
I mean, just physically, it's incredible. He's always in the gym every single day, and he's working on something, whether it's flexibility or strength. I think that's one of the things, just learning from him, kind of what he does and why he's been able to play, this long. I mean, it's because of things like that. He handles, everything with pure class, and I mean, it's really not a surprise when you see all these things.
I talked to longtime NHL official Pat DiPuzzo about you one day at Biggie Sports Bar back in Jersey, and he was telling me about your story, which is an amazing story, how you progressed to where you are now and to become the player that you are. But all that said, what's really interesting about it is when you look at yourself, you look at your kind of progression, so to speak. And you're one of these outstanding young defensemen and soon-to-be defensemen. But I didn't know that you had the toughness in you, though. I was kind of bringing you all around the world. That fight with Panarin, that
was unbelievable.
For both teams, we were
guys.
going crazy
Haymakers.
in the studio. I didn't know you had that. What happened? Take us inside that tilt.
Oh, man. I think it was just a little bit of frustration. We were actually down. I think it might have been 5-1 in the game. And I had a hit on him before, and then we went around, and then I kind of threw another hit at him. I think it was just really I was kind of angry, and I'm not really one to just kind of shake my gloves, but I just went for it. And I mean, we had a great fight. I mean, he was throwing, and I really didn't know kind of the way that he could handle himself.
Sure.
I thought of him as like a smaller guy. Not that I was trying to pick on someone smaller than me, but he definitely threw some big punches, and I had a lot of respect for him.
I think that tilt was great for both of you players and both your respective teams too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
I want to go back a couple of years. I think it was your rookie season. It was the first year David Backes got here, and it was the off season, and all we can remember is, for a lack of better terms, you were pooper scooping in his backyard with that lost bet and stuff. You fast forward now, you have a veteran presence on this team on that back end, and here's a veteran, a guy who's played almost 1,000 games in the NHL, getting his first crack at the Stanley Cup Final. What's that like to go through that process with him, knowing what you do about him and his character on and off the ice?
Yeah, I mean, Bax is an unbelievable team guy. What he brings to the table, he works so hard. I mean, he really leads the way, with everything. Whether it's he's talking, he's vocal leader, whether he's playing and he's hitting guys or he's working hard and back checking. He does so many things that that maybe not show up on the score sheet, but he does them for our team, and they don't go unnoticed by us. He's been huge since he came back into the lineup, and I mean, he's a guy who I think deserves it more than anybody to win this thing. He's paid his dues, and he's played for a long, long time, and I think that we all have him in mind, as far as a little bit of extra motivation.
Awesome.
Well,
Stuff, we appreciate you stopping by.
Very
Chucky Bright Lights, as Weeksy always calls you. Charlie McAvoy right there. Enjoy the whole process.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Charlie McAvoy right there.